Welcome to the Halloween Marathon of 2022.
Every once in a while, you come upon a game that you have put off time and time again and paying no attention to it even though it was there the whole time. For some reason or another, you just continue to ignore this game until one day you decide to give it a shot. And when you do, it goes beyond every expectation that you could have had about that game. That is basically my situation when I talk about my next game here, Subnautica. This game right here was developed by Unknown Worlds Entertainment and was released in 2018. It has been on Game Pass for the longest time and I keep seeing it on the list over and over. But I kinda just ignore it and I think to myself, well, it's probably just a game about being underwater and just fishing, maybe just exploring. And then I come to find out as I'm researching for games that I could cover during my marathon that Subnautica is considered a horror survival game with emphasis on the exploration aspect. So this video is probably going to be one of the shortest ones on the marathon because I haven't truly experienced the game in its full potential, but what I have seen so far, I am very intrigued by the possibilities of what might be in store for future gameplay. So here's a quick little rundown of what the game is about. So the game starts off with you crash landing on an unknown planet in the middle of a vast ocean after escaping from the main ship on a life pod. So right from the get-go, you are presented with a huge problem. You find yourself stranded on an unknown planet, on an escape pod that barely works, and a vast ocean that stretches far beyond your reach of vision in all directions. You have no idea if there's any land available anywhere on this planet, and on top of that, you have no idea what's underneath the waters right below you. And that, I think, is where the horror theme of the game resides. There is nothing more scary than the unknown, and Subnautica places you right in the middle of that right from the start. When you begin the game, you can choose to play this game in 4 different modes, as you can see here. You can choose to go hardcore, or you can take it easy and choose a more relaxing mode where the survival aspect of the game is brushed to the side for the sake of allowing you to enjoy the game at a more leisurely pace, yet not sacrificing the core aspect of the storyline. You collect resources, search for food, and you have to deal with thirst and other survival instincts as you slowly start to explore the planet. Not the planet, but rather the waters around you. Now, I'm not going to go over the entire storyline or kind of give you a brief idea of what the story is like. One of the fun parts about playing a game like this is to approach it not knowing anything about it. So, I'm not going to go over the storyline here, but rather just the gameplay and what to expect at the beginning, which is kind of where I'm at. The whole premise of the game is basically you surviving as you progress in the story and you find out how to get off the planet. As the story progresses, you're going to find out more about certain species and life forms on the planet and their backstory. And one of the things that's going to stand out to you when you play this game immediately, other than the fact that you are surviving in an unknown planet, is the exclusion of weapons in the game. Currently, I'm still playing this game and I feel like I've just scratched the surface. I know there's a lot more to do in this game and I haven't really touched into the horror aspect of the game other than maybe surviving the treacherous ocean wildlife that is within the vicinity of the life pod. When I started playing this game, it kind of reminded me of No Man's Sky. If you've played that game, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Since at the beginning you are completely lost and you have to figure out all the menus and how to manage resources and use those resources to create different tools, as well as being able to feed yourself and have enough water to survive. While there's not a lot to see at the beginning other than the huge ship in the horizon and water just surrounding you in general, what is available to be seen is quite good. So on the graphic scale, I'm going to give this one an 8. I will probably place it higher, but I have not seen the entire game, so there might be things down the road that might actually raise the score, or who knows, maybe even lower it. But from what I've seen so far, it's a good looking game. The gameplay so far, I'll probably give it an 8 as well. It's a work in progress and I feel that with what little I have scratched on the surface of the game is enough to warrant its score. If you're into survival games where you have to manage resources very carefully, then this game is right up your alley. I can't wait until I get into the more horror aspect of the game, whatever that may be. This is probably the only game on the marathon which I will not give a Halloween meter score because, like I said, I just started playing it, and I feel any score given to it would not be properly indicative of the game in total. With that said, don't be fooled like I was and give this game a shot. And if you have Game Pass, even better because it's already included in the service. Even though I just started playing the game, I am having a lot of fun with it, and I wanted to share that feedback and include it in my marathon because it might help anyone out there that's on the fence about trying this game out. Now, tomorrow I'm going to be traveling back to the 16-bit era and going over a game that is a spin off for my title that I have already talked about on this marathon. Which one could that be? Well, you'll just have to wait and see.
This is Aurora. Distress signal received. Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours. Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.